It's fair to say that over the years, a very controversial topic has always been the smoothness of some of the coasters at Thorpe Park. So today I'm going to give my view by ranking all of Thorpe Park's roller coasters by their smoothness, and I'm also going to take into consideration how comfortable they are by including my thoughts on their trains and restraints, as this will make it easier to set the rides apart from each other. In my opinion, the roughest coaster at the park is Soar the Ride. The issue with the roughness on Soar is that it can feel quite smooth, and then you go over one of the shakier sections, such as the bottom of the first drop, and the car feels like it's going over a pothole and jolts from side to side, which sometimes alone can give me a bit of a headache. The last section where the mid-course just doesn't slow the car down can also be pretty uncomfortable, as the dive loop feels way too tight as you go through it. And that's not forgetting the fact the restraints do tighten a decent amount as the ride progresses. It's a real shame because disregarding these two parts of the ride is more or less smooth, as the indoor section doesn't have any headbanging whatsoever. Colossus only just takes the 6th spot away from Soar the Ride, and the reason I'm putting this slightly above Soar is that the roughness is more of a constant rattle rather than the sudden jolts that Soar has, which for me is more bearable. And hopefully if the current retracking continues, we'll see this rattle become less prominent. Although a more pressing issue to me are the trains. They are very tight, especially as I'm over 6'3", and for many people the headbanging from the bulky restraints can cause headaches. I guess the redeeming quality of my height with this ride is that my head is above the restraints, so luckily I don't suffer from any headbanging. Though I think new trains with lap bars would make a world of a difference to this ride, as the headbanging that many people suffer from would be completely eliminated. 5th place goes to Flying Fish, the oldest coaster at the park, and the profiling of some of the transitions can be a little janky on this ride, but because you have a lap bar this is hardly an issue, and if anything it makes the ride more fun. Stealth is in 4th place, and this ride isn't really rough at all, but it isn't glass smooth either. It's a little rattly on the pull up into the top hat, however I don't find this notable enough to take anything away from the experience, as this part is over so quickly. The only other issue is the tightening of the restraints, though the ride is so short that it isn't enough to make it uncomfortable. And if you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe. But in 3rd place is Nemesis Inferno, and unlike most of the coasters at the park, it has ratcheting restraints that results in them not tightening during the layout. This is such a benefit, as it can be quite uncomfortable when you're sat on the brake run of a coaster and your restraint is extremely tight. Although despite the positives of Inferno, the Swarm still takes the 2nd spot, as it's so smooth it feels like you're gliding through the air with no rattle or bouncing at all. Though the one thing that lets the ride down are the vest restraints. On high G-force moments they do tighten, which makes the final section of the ride less enjoyable than it should be. So in my opinion, the smoothest and most comfortable ride in the park is Walking Dead the Ride. For its age, this Vekoma family coaster offers a smooth ride experience with no rattle, and you only have lap bars, which makes it more comfortable. My only nitpick would be getting in and out of the trains, though this is only an issue because I'm very tall. With that said, those are my rankings, but what are yours? Be sure to leave them in the comments down below. But that's it for this video. Thanks loads for watching, and I'll see you next time.